A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Simeon came in the Spirit into the temple, and when the parents brought in the child Jesus to perform the custom of the law in regard to him, Simeon took Jesus into his arms and blessed God. And he said to Mary, his mother, "Behold, this child is destined for the fall and the rise of many in Israel, and to be a sign that will be contradicted. And you yourself a sword will pierce, so that the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise be to you, Lord Jesus Christ. In her introduction to the Reed of God, Carol Houselander recounts for us how, as a child, someone whom she greatly respected told her never to do anything that Our Lady would not do, for if she did, the angels in heaven would blush. Carol Houselander took this older person's advice to heart, and for a short time, as a little girl, she tried to avoid doing those simple pranks that children enjoy pulling on others, but which would be considered questionable for anyone choosing to imitate the holiness of Mary. Very soon, her venture in piety wore off quickly, primarily because she found it difficult to imagine Mary, the Mother of God, doing anything that she liked to do, simply because she couldn't imagine Mary doing anything at all. I think this simple story of trying to imitate Mary and not being able to because it was hard to imagine Mary being human speaks for many of us. In that I believe that there are many people who, in loving Our Lady, still think of her as someone who never did the things that we do. To many of us, Mary is like the Madonna of the Christmas card, kneeling in quiet contemplation on the immaculately clean stable of golden straw and shining snow. She's almost surreal. Nothing about her is ordinary, not even the stable in which Jesus is born. In many people's minds, the Mother of God comes to mean only a pale statue or a beautiful picture, a tiny medal, or a great stained glass window. We forget that Mary, the Mother of God on earth, was and in heaven is a person. We don't only do this with Mary. We do this with a lot of the saints. John Shea, a contemporary spiritual writer, in his poem about the saints entitled "Friends in High Places," writes this stanza. We like them up there as they shine in stained glass glory, a candle of a nun with a flame dancing on her head, a young man with steeple fingers holding a lily, a knight ramming a lance down a dragon's throat, a queen doling out bread to a beggar, a monk with a pen poised like a dagger. They live between us and God. His point is that we need to see the saints in their humanity. Otherwise, how do we bridge the immense gap between their heroic virtue and our weaknesses? We cannot hope to imitate them, nor model their holiness without first walking in their shoes and touching their skin. I believe what makes us truly love a particular saint is not necessarily the image that we see of them or that's carved of them. It's the little human details we discover about their lives. I love St. Catherine of Siena not for her dialogues with God, but for something as simple as this: because she loved her garden, and she gilded tiny oranges to humor a very difficult pope. She was not only the most dynamic woman in history, but also, from what I understand, the best friend to other women that ever lived. Such simple things make me forget that she was fiercely ascetic and that for years she fed only on the Blessed Sacrament. I love Pope John Paul II, Blessed Pope John Paul, soon to be Saint Pope John Paul II, because of his great love for nature and those simple human gestures of affection which he continually showed time and time again to people of all time and in different places. I love St. Francis of Assisi, and so do so many others, because all of creation was his family. Brother Sun, Sister Moon, Brother Wolf, and even Sister Death. But it is Our Lady and no other saint whom we can really imitate. She's not only human like the other saints, she is humanity. The one thing that she did and does is the one thing that we all have to do, and that is bear Christ into this world, carry Christ into this world, give Christ to this world. In this world of ours, torn by agonies and desertions and dissensions, we need some direction for our souls. To this need, the imitation of Our Lady is the answer. In contemplating her, in studying her, in reflecting on her, we find an intimacy with God, the law which is the lovely yoke of the one irresistible love. Mary is more human and more real than we realize.